everybody. Welcome to Calculus 2. I am really excited to be your teacher this semester, and I'm really excited to get to have a chance to record this video to introduce myself to you. So, I'm Dr. Brock Williams. Here's a picture of me that I like a lot because it was taken a few years ago when I was less fat than I am now. And I also like this picture because this is obviously not taken in Lubbock. You can see there's water there, which is and trees, which we don't really have a lot of in Lubbock. This is actually from Minnesota. So where I am in this picture is at the headwaters of the Mississippi River. So there's a big lake right to the left side of the screen that obviously you can't see, and the water pours out of the lake and forms the beginnings of the Mississippi River. And they have a walkway of stones so you can walk, as I had just done before we took this picture, across the Mississippi River, which is kind of cool. So, so what are some things that I'd like you to know about me? Well, so I've been married since 1994. We have three kids, my wife and I. We've both taught at Texas Tech since 1999 when I got my PhD. And my wife Carol, she teaches math at Tech too, which is a lot of fun because we can come into work together and talk about math together and talk about our teaching together. So here's just pictures of my wife. I'm really proud of her and of the job she does teaching. She teaches mostly classes for future teachers, future middle school and high school teachers especially. And she also teaches a lot of business math and business calculus. And recently she's started teaching the geometry class that the architecture majors take. It's a lot of fun. Here's a picture of Carol wrangling the three kids. So this was taken, of course, at Jones Stadium, right? You can see the football field in the background there. Here's another picture from a few years back. This is the year that we had the summer, we had the big eclipse. And so the kids are all there. We're actually standing in the middle of a cornfield in Nebraska, trying to catch a glimpse of the eclipse. And you can see it was pretty cloudy, and so we had to drive around a lot and find a cornfield that we could park in where we could get a glimpse of the sun there. And of course, George, my oldest, is looking through the at the eclipse through the lens of his cell phone. This is maybe my favorite picture of me with the kids. So this is the Smithsonian in DC. And of course, if you look behind there, that's the original model of the Enterprise from the original series from Star Trek. And that was a really cool picture. I also have to throw in a couple other cute pictures. So this is Spot. He is the most spoiled rat terrier slash chihuahua mix in the universe. In the picture on the right there, he's giving that sort of "I'm the boss here," and why do I let you live in my house face. He's about 3 years old. And we have a new puppy named Storm. And so Storm is absolutely adorable. He's older, of course, in the picture on the right there, where George is holding him. But he chews on everything. The shoes that I have on now are missing a strap because he gnawed through them. He chews on the carpet, on the walls, on everything. But he's pretty cute, so it's almost worth it. um, what else would you like to know? Our family attends Broadway Church of Christ here in Lubbock. I got my PhD from the University of Tennessee. Again, that was in 1999. I graduated from Mississippi State before that with my bachelor's in math. Um, Given the fact that I went to Mississippi State, you might guess that I'm from Mississippi originally. I grew up on a dairy farm in Mississippi. So growing up on a dairy farm is an absolutely wonderful way to grow up if you want to be a mathematician. Getting up at 3:30 in the morning every weekend and going to the barn and standing in knee-deep cow manure to milk the cows is a wonderful, wonderful motivation to do anything else with the rest of your life. So, but of course, you never really get the farm out of your system. So, I want to show you a couple of pictures of what I do now for fun, which is not what I ever dreamed I would be doing when I was, doing farming for a living. So this is my big chunk of my backyard. Um, so those are all rows I had planted and set up in the garden. So on the left, those are mostly tomatoes and some peppers and jalapenos and other things. On the right, you can see the cages there. Those are mostly the New Mexico chili peppers, which are just now getting ripe, so that's really very cool. some tomatillas, some other peppers in there. There's some tulips in there. This was, of course, a spring picture, a picture that was taken um, later in the summer. So in this one on the left, you can see peas. There's some cucumbers there in the back. Lots of okra. And behind there is watermelons, and of course lots of sunflowers. And then of course the corn. In the other picture in the bottom corner. Um, what are some other interesting things about me? I have 1,170, as of a few minutes ago when I checked, audiobooks in my Audible library. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, mostly science fiction, fantasy stuff, um, uh, Lord of the Rings, this kind of stuff, space, shoot them up, space opera stuff, and a lot of military history stuff. Um, our family are big St. Louis Cardinals fans, which is interesting. We never lived in St. Louis, but our connection to the Cardinals is through my wife's grandfather. So he was a minor league player for the Cardinals back in the 40s. So because of that, we had to pick a team to root for when there is baseball, and so we settled on rooting for the Cardinals. Also, it helps to pick the Cardinals because we can't get the Astros or the Rangers, because of the blackout zones because we're in Texas. Um, so we love the Cardinals. We watch them quite a bit, and a summer or two ago, we were able to drive through Memphis and go to their AAA affiliate and watch the Memphis Redbirds play, which was really cool. So, well, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little glimpse into my world. Um, I think it helps a lot to get to know a little bit about your teacher so that you have some sort of sense of what they're really like. I'm looking forward to teaching you this semester, and I can't wait to meet you as we get started.